A tendinopathy is a broad term encompassing painful conditions occurring in and around tendons in response to overuse. Recent basic science research suggests that no inflammation is present in these conditions. Trigger points are discrete focal hyperirritable spots located in taut bands of skeletal muscle. They produce pain locally and in referred pain patterns, and often accompany chronic musculoskeletal disorders. The subscapularis is the largest, strongest muscle of the rotator cuff. The rotator cuff muscles are important in shoulder movement and help maintain glenohumeral joint stability. The subscapularis muscle lies at the anterior surface of the scapula. The subscapularis attaches medially to the inner surface of the scapula and laterally to the lesser tubercle of the anterior aspect of the humerus. The subscapularis chiefly is responsible for internal rotation and adduction of the arm and shoulder. It also helps secure the head of the humerus in the glenoid fossa, and in this way assists abduction in the arm. The symptoms of progressive painful restriction of abduction and external rotation of the arm due to subscapularis trigger points are often diagnosed or misdiagnosed as frozen shoulder. Activation of trigger points in this muscle are often caused by chronic muscular strain or sudden trauma to the shoulder. Subscapularis trigger points cause severe pain both at rest and at motion. The essential zone of referred pain patterns lies over the posterior aspect of the shoulder. Spillover referral zones cover the scapula and extend down the posterior aspect of the arm and elbow.
So here be careful, here I feel a little catchy, but I know things are loosening up, and I know my shoulder now. If I put my arm to the side, I'm able to keep my arm straighter. So don't have you can at times, but generally speaking, don't try and rotate your arms in. There's no need for that. When you're bringing your thumbs down, you're going to cause catching, jamming, hinging, impingement basically of your tendons and ligaments, and it's not necessary. So try to have more your thumbs pointing forward, up, or behind you. Same with out, but this way. By doing so, you're allowing this in here in the shoulder girdle at the glenohumeral joint to be open instead of putting it in a compromised situation. So here, yes, it's okay obviously to hold on to the bar. You have to have your thumbs pointing in, just for the purpose of this stretch. It's fine, and this feels really good. Even if you only do this 10 seconds at a time, just make sure you're nice and centered and below the bar, and hang a nice deep breath. So one thing that's really good as well, then you can try and do lifting your body. So you still can touch the feet, your toes on the floor, and you use your muscle. Try not to use your leg. Your legs and feet are just there to kind of give you extra support, so you're not using 100% here of your body lifting yourself up, but you're allowing this shoulder movement. So it's not great 100%. I can feel the difference in my sits muscle, or which basically it's an acronym for all of the rotator cuff muscle: supraspinatus, infraspinatus, terry muscles, and subscapularis. So this is very good here, and you're basically lifting yourself up. So you're moving your shoulder blades. It's like doing this movement where you're bringing your shoulders down away from your neck, but you're doing it instead from below your lifting, okay? As opposed to lifting up your arms and bringing them down. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple more stretches here just to show you how to stretch subscapularis. I'm gonna go in this direction here. So I'm gonna show two versions with the ball, if you can go as low as the ball. And if you cannot reach this far down to stretch this way, we already did hanging up on the chin-up bar. Now we're going to do it this way. If you cannot hang from the chin-up bar, again, when you hang on the chin-up bar, it's not your whole upper body weight hanging onto your body. Your feet are still touching the floor, and you can use your legs more so or less. You base it on however much pain you're in, discomfort, but as you are healing from frozen shoulder, you need to eventually challenge the joint to hold on to the chin-up bar as you're doing certain therapies and getting better. Rest is as well part of the process. Also, it depends on how soon you are attending to it and not waiting for it to be completely frozen and not leave it like that for weeks and months. When I got my frozen shoulder, as soon as that morning I could not move my arm, I got it treated right away every day for a week, and that's how I got it to free up so quickly. And even though it was hurting for a long time afterward with lots of restrictions and pain with movement, it still got better, and I never stayed in that frozen shoulder state for weeks and months. So never wait that long, please. The sooner you attend to it, the better you will get recovery. So here you can use a chair. Here I'm using the back of the chair. It's on a yoga mat, so it's not gonna move. And I'm gonna go as far down as I can. So if all you can do is here to get your arms up. So the idea is to bring your arms up, okay? You could do it this way, you could do it against a wall. But here, slight bend in your knee just to get to engage your gluteal muscle. Pull your belly in, and then you're gonna stretch. Actually, as you go down, you're gonna end up going into a rotation of your hips and then stretching as far down as you can. So that's why I have my knees bent, to allow my core to engage. If you keep your knees straight, you're gonna put too much stress on your back. So bend your knees. I keep my feet pointing forward in front of me, and I'm stretching down as far as I can. If you can't go this far, just go however far you can. From here you can do a little bit of an isolation here. Pull it in and stretch back. Pull in your body and stretch out. Push your body forward as your arms stay where they are, and push back. And go down if you can a bit more. Engage your core, push your belly in. Keep your back kind of neutral. If you're feeling any pain in your back, then round your back slowly and walk forward with your feet to stand back up, as opposed to bringing your arms up from this position. Bring your leg forward and stand up this way, okay? If you can go further, you can do it this way, where you're a little bit lower, and then you can use the ball to move back and forth. So let me move the chair a bit, and I'll be more in the middle here. So here, I am moving forward my body and back. Moving forward, so my knees are bent here again, my head is in neutral forward, and I'm going forward. So it requires more balance. So my head here is gonna be in front touching, so it's gonna give it a little bit of, it's gonna help me to keep my balance too, because here basically the top of my head is resting on the ball, and forward. I get a little bit of momentum, I lift my heels up. You don't have to do that, but I just felt like doing that. And you can do that 5 or 6 times. You can add a little bit of flossing as you get more comfortable with this one on your second set, for example. So first, when you come up, okay, you can come up this way if you prefer that way. Otherwise, you can come up lifting your arms up. So you let go of the bar, and now you engage everything and come back up. Alrighty, so to that you could add a bit of flossing of your arms. So here, bend your legs, put your hands on the ball, go forward, feet pointing forward, stretching, and then here you do hands in flexion or extension, pardon me, hands in extension, and as you go forward, flexion, come back, stretch down, back. So my head, top of my head again is resting on the ball. My head is neutral. So kind of my head is rolling over the ball. And that helps to stretch. I will have to say that using the chin-up bar is the best way. For many reasons, I really like that one. It gives me the most out of that specific exercise. But if you don't have a chin-up bar yet, I definitely will tell you you have to get one, even if it's not to treat a frozen shoulder or an impingement of the shoulder. It's for general health and wellness. So do these 2 exercises, then we're gonna work subscapularis to find then we're gonna work subscapularis. To find subscapularis, basically you're gonna put one hand across your other shoulder, and so basically the opposite hand of the shoulder you want to work, but you should be working both. You're gonna put your thumb on the inside of your armpit, and you're gonna push in as far as you can up and into the subscapularis in your armpit, underarm, and you basically push into it. It's gonna hurt, but then that's the idea. You need to loosen up those tissues that's in there. So just work with it. If it's too much pressure, if it hurts too much and your pressure is too deep, then lighten up. Try and keep your neck neutral. Don't put your head back. Head nice and neutral over your shoulders. So kind of ears lining up with the clavicle. It's usually where the neck is supposed to be sitting, with the ears lining up over the clavicle basically. And then just push into the tissue. So here, right in there, I'm pushing into the tissue. And then release. And you're going to switch side. Do the same thing with the opposite. So my left hand is going on my right shoulder. Put my right thumb into my left underarm. Closed, relax my left arm gently down and just on top of my right arm, and get into that tough tissue in there. You feel it tight, and push back and up. Hold that. Nice deep breath in and out. Repeat those 3 exercises. The chin-up bar, standing as I described it, holding your body, still your feet touching the floor. Go to the chair and stretch this way. And you push in and out too. So I maybe only have shown this one earlier, but here you can do the same thing as you do with a chin on the chin-up bar. Push in and back out. Push in, back out. In, back, and keep your arms at the elbow joints as straight as possible. Come back up straight by moving your legs just behind the chair, and then move to your yoga ball. If you obviously don't have a yoga ball, just use it with a chair or a countertop. You could go, if you can't even go this slow or this slow, use a countertop here. That's another option. And with a countertop, bend your knees slightly. It's going to help in increasing that motion, range of motion here, and go however far down you can. And that's a really good stretch. Actually, I like this one quite a lot. You don't need to be super low with your body. Arms about at this height is actually ideal, I would say, for this particular exercise purpose. This exercise and the chin-up bar, I would say, are ideal. And everybody has a countertop they can use, and up. So your back is kind of neutral, pushing your belly in, engaging your core, and back up. Bend your knees down, keep your arms straight. You can even flex. You can put a towel here so it's not bothering you here with a corner. And as you go down, you add to the flex extension of your hands here, and you're adding a little nerve flossing, which is very good. And as you go down, you breathe out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep breathing out on the count of 5. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out, come back up. Alright, you could do one at a time if you can't do with both at the same time. And if you're going to do one at a time, then you turn your head away from the arm that's straight. So here I have my left arm straight, stretching that side of my body. I can have my other hand onto my thigh, or just without stretching it, my right arm, I'm just kind of resting the fingers on to give me some support too for my back if I need to. And I turn my head to my right side while I work the left shoulder. And then I'm going to repeat that to the other side. So here, if I have my right arm straight, I turn my head to the left side, and the left arm is just slightly bent, my fingertips touching the counter. Again, you could have a towel to rest your hand on a towel instead, and I'm adding a flossing by extending my hand with that. So I hope you get to do these exercises and make them dynamic. Don't hold it for too long. Go in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you breathe out, and breathe in. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. And breathe in. Okay, so repeat that. You can do 3 sets of each of those rotation. I would do the chin-up bar, and over here use a ball if you have one. It adds a little bit of difficulty because you have to go lower to the floor in flexion of your torso, and it's a good exercise because you're rolling back and forth with your body. The chair, if you want to be lower than a countertop, that is another option. So please do those exercises. Comment below, let me know what kind of value you're getting out of it, and I will see you in another episode of our frozen shoulder episode with Subscapularis. Take care.